Good evening. This lecture, Bezrat Hashem, לרפואת משה בן אסתר, אברהם בן סימה, איתי בן לילך, להבדיל לעילוי נשמת זאב בן סוריה, תמרה בת נקדם, and מזל בת שלמה. And also, it's להצלחת משפחת ברינק. ברוך השם, one announcement. Next week we still have a lecture, and then the following week, beginning of July, I fly to Eretz Israel, for the month of July. We have 2 large seminars and another Shabbaton and some lectures, Baruch Hashem, many lectures. So the month of July we won't have lectures. So we will have this week and next week, and then we'll be back in August, beginning of August, Bezrat Hashem. Im Yirtzeh Hashem. You never know anymore what's coming, you know. Every day becomes worse than yesterday. See the situation in Israel, we're not getting anywhere. You know, you kill terrorists and you kill them more and more and more, and just plenty of them are still coming. And it's something that will never end. It doesn't matter. Even if you killed 1 million mass murderer Nazi terrorists, 2 million are waiting to come. You're going to get rid of the 2 million, 5 million will come. This is the punishment of Hashem to the world. A fake religion started, story of Muhammad, analphabetic, didn't know how to read, didn't know how to write, went from place to place with his sword and his gang, forced people to accept him as a prophet. Those who didn't want to accept him, he butchered them, massacred them. And now 1300 years later, his children are doing the same thing all over the world. They destroyed Europe. Every country in Europe is destroyed. Now they're coming to America to destroy the United States. From the car to here, I just saw maybe 6, 7 of them walking on the sidewalk right here. So that means this neighborhood who is Jewish is just for a matter of time. Soon it's going to become the children of Ishmael. As I told you many times, in the name of the Torah, every place the Jews will build community, Hashem will send them right away to ruin the fun. Right? Because that's what they do. They force you, they torture you, there's terrorists everywhere, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. The Europeans are waking up now. If you found out about the election in Europe last week, that all the right-wing leaders won the elections in Europe. But it's too late for them. They live in a dream. There's nothing they can do. 54 million Muslims in Europe, 90-something% of them are jihadists. They scream that on the street, they demonstrate everywhere. There's nothing you can do about it. Go and deal with 50 million people with such a agenda, such a ideology. So the world is running out. The question is how long it will take. And the question is, will Hashem send us Mashiach to save us, or in the end, it will delay it more and more and more until I don't understand myself personally. I'm asking this question already for more than 10 years. In the end, the Mashiach may not have who to come to. Who is he going to come to? I see what's happening in the world today. I see what happens in the religious world. From the not religious world, there is zero expectation. Those who understand what's happening, you know there's nothing to expect. You cannot expect about marriage values. You cannot expect nothing about ethics, morality. The days that secular people will be able to perform decency and honesty and all kinds of other things is running out. Unfortunately, this is what's happening right now. But I'm concerned about the religious world, which is also falling down big time, tremendously. I look at the teenagers, I see their language, I see the way they dress, I see the time they wake up, I see what's on their mind, I see their addiction to cigarettes and vaping and sport and all kinds of vacations and Sodom of Miami. and all the things that the Bnei Torah are becoming, it's very scary. I mean, Baruch Hashem, there are still good kids, good teenagers who love to learn. They dress decent, they wake up decent, they pray decent. But it's not what it used to be. The generations is going lower and lower. And we needed a drastic miracle. If not, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how people will be able to raise kids in this world, the way the world became. People, hunger for Torah is dying out. That's it. I mean, you can see people are not into lectures anymore. They're not into coming to learn. On Shabbat, instead of sitting and learning all day, either they sleep, they play cards, they do... That's it. That's what's happening right now. People's mind is in gimmicks, shortcuts, gimmicks, you know. And also another big problem that we have right now is the charity, the donations, the level of charity went down to almost zero. I can see from the messages I get from all kinds of rabbis, from Israel, from people who collect for yeshivot, they're having very difficult time right now. Very difficult time. One of them asked me if he should come to New York now, this week, to get a ticket. I told him I doubt it if you pay back for your ticket and your expenses, the way the situation is. You know what, I mean, I wish I had good news for you, but maybe you should wait for Elul. Maybe a month before the judgment day, people will wake up. The situation of the economy doesn't make the situation any better. You know, economy is also not good at all. I get at least every hour, at least one, sometimes 2 or 3 even, messages from desperate people if we can help them with food. Food. If you can give them money, $60, $50, just to survive the day. I'm not even talking about families that cannot afford to pay tuitions for yeshivot, the prices of the yeshivot. It's, unfortunately, people cannot afford it. Average people, middle class people cannot afford it. And the cost of living, to buy a house, I don't know who can afford to buy a house now with the interest. Garbage houses you should see around Monsey, not in Monsey, around 20 minutes away driving. The towns of Goyim, it's not Jews bichlal, starting from 1 million and up, there's no less. No less. The Goyim learn the trick. When they see a Jew come to buy a house, they double the price immediately. Houses that used to be 600-700, they ask for 1.2, 1.3. And the foolish Jews, or I should say maybe the desperate foolish Jews, those who have savings from the good days, want to help out their children, they commit. And I'm asking myself, an average family, let's say you want to help your child, your son, your daughter to buy a house. If in the Jewish neighborhoods, Lakewood, Brooklyn, Queens, Monsey, it starts from $1 million and up, and you're going to have to take 90% of it mortgage with 7-8% interest, assuming you have good credit, that means you're going to have to pay more than $10,000 a month for the mortgage and the interest, and plus you have taxes on the house, another $2,000 a month. So you're going to need $12,000 just to pay for the mortgage, $12,000 a month. That means your income should be $300,000-400,000 and up in order for you to get a mortgage in a Jewish neighborhood. Do you understand the situation that we are in? The Gemara in Masechet Sotah gave us signs what will happen before the Mashiach would come. And one of the signs is that Ayoker Ya'amir, there will be a huge inflation. Prices are going up every week. Every week. I see with the prices of the tefillin and the mezuzot. I, Baruch Hashem, learned the trick. When I get a very good sofer, after I check him out, make sure everything is perfect, I don't order for him 10, 50, 20. I order 500. I commit him to 500, because I know by the time he'll finish the 500, the price will be 10, 20, 30, 40% higher. Here we commit to one price, and not always it helps. Sometimes in the middle say, I'm sorry, I cannot sell it for this price, I'm sorry. I don't know, whatever you want to do. You want to take me to Beddin for not keeping my promise? It's up to you. It's not worth it for me. Why? Everything goes up. Higher and higher and higher and higher. We are in a very, very serious problem right now. And of course, the wicked Israeli government, they cut all the help to the learners of Torah already for a few months, starving them to death, mamash, almost literally to death. The people mamash don't have what to eat. Bachurei yeshiva are walking hungry. I'm shocked to even say such thing. Then on the other hand, you have all these billionaires around here, Queens, Brooklyn, I don't know where, Great Neck. By them, business as usual. Another mansion and another vacation home and another $2 million yacht they buy. They really think that they're going to take this money with them to the next world. So they rather invest in this world. Some people, they really want to help. They want to save others. They want to help yeshivot. They don't have money enough. They worry. They have a little bit saving. They're afraid to give tzedakah. This is, by the way, one of the tests that Hashem loves to test a person with. This is how you prove if you have confidence in Hashem or you're another faker with a yarmulke and a beard. Now, I know you're not going to believe me if I say it, right? So let me read it to you. I'll read it to you. Don't say I'm making it up, because then later people drive me crazy. Where is the source? Where is the source? They maybe think I work for them, like a clerk. I have to dance according to their questions. They get angry. You know, I want to give you an example. 3 weeks ago, I get an email from a woman in Israel, American woman in English. Her husband just died. She became a widow. She finished now the Shiva. Now she's going to need to go to places every Shabbat. She doesn't want to stay alone at home. Until now she had a husband. From the email I understand that she doesn't have kids. Otherwise they would host her, no? Or at least she has kids, but maybe they're not Shomer Shabbat. Bottom line, she's lonely now. She just came out of the Shiva. If I can help her to find her places in Israel every Shabbat to go to. I don't live in Israel, you know. So what do? I take one of the avrechim in my kollel, in my yeshiva. He has, Baruch Hashem, 13 kids, this guy. It's tzaddik. So I asked him personally, because I know I have a very good heart, this tzaddik. Very have good heart. I said to him, I took a picture of the email that she sent, and I sent it to him with a picture. I said, please contact this lady and see how you can help her out to connect her with the organizations or people in Israel that can find her places to be on Shabbat. He said, okay, absolutely. I got it out of my head, no? I have a million of other things to take care of now. 3 weeks later, she sent me an email cursing me out, telling me shame on you, cursing me, calling me all kinds of names in the email. You would only care about me if I would be one of your donors, she said. Since I'm not one of your donors, you didn't even bother to try to help me out to find a place for Shabbat, which I actually did in less than an hour. From the minute she sent the email, in less than an hour, I already arranged someone to take care of her. So I took a picture of her new email, sent it to the tzaddik. He told me, wow. I asked someone to take care of it, and he told me, you know how it is, everyone transferred the favor to someone else. I didn't expect him to find her places for Shabbat. He knows everyone. He's in Yerushalayim. He lives there all his life. He's going to find an organization in Israel that takes care of it. So I sent him the picture. He said, wow. But he's such a tzaddik that he said, I guess this woman is really suffering. You know, when people suffer, they speak nonsense. They speak nonsense. They take their anger on someone else. Anyway, so let me give you the source, because then later people would ask, where is the source, where is this? Not by the way that it helps. I mean, I know I'm wasting my time here. Whatever I'm going to say, it's not going to make any change by anyone. I can tell you that up front. But the reason I say it, because then I don't want people to sue me in Olam Haba. How come you never told us that? Then I'll be guilty for everyone. So I do it for selfish reasons. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. Because if I have 10, 20, 30,000 listeners now, and what's going to be in a repeat, maybe 5, 10, 20 of them will change. Then if I won't say it, these 10, 20, 30 will hold me guilty in Shamayim. That's the way it goes. I once read it to you. It's in Ezekiel chapter 3. It says, if you warn the wicked and he repented, he will be saved, and you saved your soul, yourself. If he did not repent, he will pay for his crimes, and you saved your soul. If you didn't warn him, you are guilty for his crimes. Guilty. Someone asked me this week from England, where is the source for it? I'm having an argument with my friends. They don't believe that you're guilty for other people's crimes. So I said, I can give you 300 sources from the top of my head, but let me give you one. Moshe hit the rock. Hashem told him, speak to the rock. All the lefty liberals, Datan and Aviram and all the other wicked people, they were making fun. 1 or 2 drops came out. Then Moshe hit the rock second time, rivers of water came out. River. It was enough for the whole nation. Millions gonna drink now. They were silent, all the wicked clown, finally closed their dirty mouth. But Moshe and his brother Aaron, that minute, Hashem signed that they will not enter the Holy Land. That was the dream of their life. That was the purpose of their life. That's what they gave every minute of their life for that mission, for that target. That was their target, to hit the Holy Land. After they babysit the people and all the pests and all the nudniks out there who constantly give them hard time, they tolerated that for one purpose, that they should enter the land of God as it's promised in the Torah. And both of them did not enter Israel. Such a horrible punishment. Moshe for hitting the rock instead of speaking to the rock. That was it. It's written, Mei Meriva, for that I'm not letting you go into Israel. It's a clear verse in the Torah. The question is why Aaron didn't go in. Aaron was a big tzaddik. He was loved by everyone. When he passed, the entire nation cried for him. Everyone, for 30 days. There was not one person that was happy that Aaron passed. When Moshe passed, some people were very upset, some people were happy. Why? Oh, Baruch Hashem, we got rid of this dictator who tells us what to do. He already executed Mechalel Shabbat. You know how people are. The wicked people, they always look at the leader or the rabbi as a source to the problem. They're not going to blame themselves. Like King Solomon already said. King Solomon wrote, Ivelet Adam tesalef darko, ve'al Hashem iz'af libo. Stupidity of a person will turn him away from the right path to Hashem, and he is going to blame Hashem or his representatives, such as the rabbi or Moshe Rabbeinu or the Kohen. So the question is why Aaron had to get such a punishment. He was not holding the stick. The answer is because in the first time when Moshe hit the rock, Aaron could not see it coming, right? Moshe already did it. He couldn't stop it. But when he raised his hand for the second time to give another shot, Aaron should have held his head. He should have not letting him do it. Because he knew that Hashem told him, speak to the rock and don't eat the rock. He didn't tell him to eat the rock. So the first time, Aaron was not guilty because he didn't see that Moshe is about to eat the rock. How is he supposed to know? But when Moshe lifted his hand to eat the rock for the second time, Aaron was standing there and he didn't rebuke him. He got the same exact punishment like Moshe. Same exact punishment. You see your cousin Mechalel Shabbat and you say nothing to him, it counts like you are Mechalel Shabbat. It's a clear verse in the Torah. Clear verse in the Torah. הוכח, תוכיח את עמיתך ולא תישא עליו חטא. Rebuke your brother, the member of your nation, someone who follow Torah, believes in Hashem, that you should not be held guilty for his crimes, for his sins. One comment that some people are not aware of, this obligation to rebuke Jews does not apply to every Jew. Some Jews are not considered Jews, even though their biological mother is Jewish. In Shamayim, Hashem is looking at them as 100% non-Jews. Chalel Shabbat, הרי הוא כגוי לכל דבר. Someone who's an idol worshipper is like a goy. Chalel Shabbat is like a goy. So who do we have an obligation to rebuke? Someone that believes in God, believes that there is such a thing, Torah. We're not talking about a religious person. Just a believer. He believes there is a God. He believes there is a Torah. Chiloni, when he sees the Torah, he runs to kiss. Or if he sees someone walks into the place where the Torah, he's going to stand up. Or if he walks into a synagogue, to a bar mitzvah, or to a funeral, he's going to put a yarmulke on. Meaning he has some connection to tradition. Someone like that, it's mitzvah to try to save him. Some lefty liberal like Bernie Sanders or Chuck Schumer and the rest of these wicked people, there's no obligation to rebuke them. You let them stay wicked until they die and pay for all the crimes. You leave them like that. You don't have an obligation to run and beg them to become righteous. A lot of people don't know it. They don't know it. If you will do it, and you get one of these wicked people to repent, that's a huge achievement. That's unbelievable. But if you didn't run after them to rebuke them and to make them religious, you will not be held responsible for their crimes. So you have to know. In Israel, unfortunately, half of the people are in this category. Here in America, there's a lot of wicked people, but a lot of them have no idea what does it mean to be wicked. You have Jews in America here that grew up 100% like Goyim. Some of them were even sent to Christian schools, private schools that are following Christianity. Some Jews. I even met one time a Jew that his name was Chris Cohen. Chris Cohen. Just to show you how dumb these parents were, that they called him in such a name. It's like calling someone Muhammad Levi. You don't know if to laugh or to cry. So, for that, by the way, you should know, if the obligation to rebuke was to every Jew, include the most wicked ones, include people like Bernie Sanders, or Bennett, or Ehud Barak, or Aaron Barak, and Lieberman, and the rest of the Reshaim, Afar Lepiem, then we would not have a life. We would have to stand in the streets of Tel Aviv all day and scream, Shabbat, Shabbat, how can you drive on Shabbat? And obviously they will make fun at us all day. Take pictures of us, laugh at us, throw things at our head, throw eggs at us. We would have no life. Hashem, Baruch Hashem, is reasonable. He didn't ask us or command us to rebuke such filth. Leave them alone. Al itenu larasha v'yamot. He will have a problem with me when the time comes. Otherwise, we have no life. We couldn't live, couldn't have a family life, couldn't raise your children. You would have to be standing on the street everywhere you go. Excuse me, why you walk without a yarmulke? Excuse me, why you don't have tzitzit? Excuse me, why you walk not modest? That's all you have to do. There's no such obligation. Your obligation is to speak to someone that you know there is a chance that he would listen to you. If there is no such chance, that you know that he's going to get angry, some lefty liberal, hater of God, haters of religion, or some gay, as soon as you talk to him about religion, he want to kill you because it jeopardizes his desires. People like that, you don't have to risk yourself. People that have respect to the religion, meaning if they see Rabbi on Shabbat, they wouldn't light a cigarette in his face. People like that, you have to do everything you can to save them. Why? They have good background. How long, how many times you have to rebuke a person? How many times? The answer, up to 100 times. Or, if he yell at you with anger or beat you up, or threaten to beat you up, then you don't have to. If you talk to me about Shabbat one more time, I'll break your head. Okay. You don't want me to talk to you? I don't want to talk to you. No problem. I'll throw you out of the house. I don't want you here. Why? You're nudnik. Enough with your religion. I said, sometimes people ask me, Rabbi, if I share your videos on my Facebook page or Instagram, all these filthy places that people go to, half of my friends would leave. One time I did it, they don't want to talk to me, they make faces, they get angry. I said, personally, who wants friends like that? You have to be not normal to want such friends. What are you trying to prove? That you have 500 friends in your page? Or 5,000 friends? That you are a popular guy? Everyone knows by now that it's all a bluff. Now one of these 5,000 friends of your Facebook page would run to save you at 3 a.m. if you be arrested. And they have to bring a few $1,000s to bail you out in Manhattan. Or to fly to Florida or Los Angeles and to help you over there when you have a problem. Now one of them will show up. Religious stranger in a neighborhood that doesn't know you, if you knock on his door, he may get up and get dressed at 3 a.m. and run to help you. But all your friends, childhood friend, that you eat and drink with them in the bars and go and hanging out for years, it's all a mutual interest. They're using you and you using them. You cannot stand them and they cannot stand you. Right now it's convenient to be in a partnership. You need him because he has a car. How are you going to drive to the club? He needs you because you have connection. You're going to get him the girls. This is the life of the secular people. Who are you kidding? It's all shmor li ve'eshmor lecha. You be on my guard, I'll be on your guard. Why? It's worth it for both of us. Same thing with the bank. When you bring millions to the bank, everyone smiles to you, they even make you espresso when you come. Come, sir, enjoy this new coffee, we just got it. When you stop depositing or you wire the money to a different bank, the next morning, nobody looks at you. Not even hello. All the smiles disappeared. Espresso? Maybe with the poison in it. Maybe with that. Why? Because to begin with, it was all fake. Same thing when you see your American neighbor in an elevator in the morning. Hi, how are you? Does he even care how are you? Can drop dead as far as he's concerned. Especially if you're Jewish or especially if you're a religious Jew. It's all fake. It's all fake. Does he really care how are you? You know how people used, when I came here in 1989, in Queens, every person on the street would tell you how you're doing. I was shocked. I came from Israel. In Israel, life is friendly. People knock on your door and show up. People just show up, 2 p.m., family, hi, we came to visit. No warning. By the way, today it's not like that anymore. Nobody shows up anymore. But that's how it used to be. All of a sudden, now people knock on the door, you open 7 people at the door to start making them lunch, and people were happy about it. It was the way of life. But no one on the street say how you doing to someone he doesn't know. As warm and friendly as it used to be, it was only between friends and relatives. But when I came to America, I was shocked. I remember walking on Northern Boulevard in Little Neck there. Little Neck, close to Great Neck there. And walking, and Goyim used to come. How are you doing? In the beginning, I didn't understand. Why is asking me how I'm doing? Who is this guy? What am I doing? To begin with, my English wasn't any. I said to myself, I didn't know that how you doing means hello. That's what they really mean. Because in my mind, when someone asks you, how are you doing? That means you're doing something and he wants to know if you need help, if you succeeded in your mission, to be happy or to be sad for you, right? But none of these people care about how I'm doing. It was just manners, fake manners. How are you doing? Does he stand to wait for an answer? No, he continued to walk. The question is, what's better? Fake life like this, but you really need someone to care how you're doing. He doesn't even want to hear from you. Don't bother me, it's an harassment. You text him 2-3 times, he's going to answer you. It's an harassment. You can send me one more message, I'll call the police. So, it's rotten, it's sad, it's very discouraging. When I look at the young kids and think about what life they're going to have to have in this world, with the marriage crisis and financial crisis and the religious crisis and the Torah crisis and the yeshiva crisis and so many other problems. And then on top of it, the devil is taking over the world with the terrorism and demonstrations. You can see that Hashem was so upset that so many Jews are going to college, and the college is the real God, the degree. The magic word, the degree, master degree. I have a PhD. That's how they brainwash the Jews in this country. Education. Now it exploded in their face. 90% of these educated people cannot pay the rent. And they have zero money in savings. Education. Even doctors used to be all rich. Hussein Obama destroyed them. Hussein Obama destroyed them. One woman said in a lecture in Brooklyn 2 weeks ago that her husband was actually a very successful doctor until Hussein Obama killed the business. And now he wants to make aliyah because he's so disgusted from being a doctor, he doesn't want to work here. So you know what, since my life is miserable, look at the people I have to take care of, all these lefty, all these wicked, all these liberals, all these anti-Semite Nazis. And on top of that, to see their lousy faces every day and not to make money, at least I would make something out of it. That reminds me, there is the famous story that Titus destroyed the second temple. Titus was the Roman Caesar at that time. He came, destroyed the second temple, took all the treasures, all the gold, put them all in a big sack, the parochet of the shul, he put everything in, make a knot, and took it with a boat to Rome, in Italy. You see the Victory Gate. If you go there in Rome, you see it. Picture of Jews holding the menorah of Bet HaMikdash, slaves. They shipped them with a boat into Rome, the Roman Empire. So, then when he took all the treasures, and what did he do? He took a woman, he put her inside Kodesh HaKodashim, the holiest square in the world, that when the Bet HaMikdash was active, if the Kohen would have a thought that it's not related to the prayers, the annual prayer, he would drop dead. Hundreds of Kohanim died over the years, especially in the second temple. There were only 4 kosher Kohanim. Every other Kohen did not finish 1 year. Did not finish a year. When the holiday come, he would die. Yom Kippur come, boom, he dies. They had to pull his body with a rope because the Jew is not allowed to enter that place. Only the Kohen Gadol. So imagine if a Kohen would think something that it's not supposed to think there, he would drop dead. Now, Titus go inside, he take his sword, he open up the Aron HaKodesh, the Sifrei Torah, stick his sword into the Torah, and Hashem, what did Hashem do? A miracle. blood started to come out. Blood started to drip. He said, I killed their God. It's full. I killed their God. That's their God. This is the holy place for them. I killed their God. Once he was on a boat on the way to Rome, Hashem made a huge storm. It's about to drown, to die. He said, oh, I guess I didn't kill that God. So I see that you're only alive in the ocean. You drowned Paro in the ocean. You drowned Sisera and his army in the water. You killed them in the water. So what happened? Now you want to kill me in the water? You know what? Let's see you fighting me in the land, not in the water. Hashem said, in the land, we'll make it in the land. The storm stopped. He made it to the land. What did Hashem do? One mosquito went into his nostrils or through his ear, went inside his brain and started to suck it every day, a little more. And you know, mosquitoes, they don't have exit. They only take in, they don't release. So it grows and grows and grows. It becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And what happened in the end? All day he heard the noise of the mosquito inside his head. Wee, wee, wee. Imagine this, drives you crazy. One time he passed by a place that the people were banging with a hammer on a mellow. Boom, boom, boom. The mosquito stopped. The mosquito heard this pounding noise. He stopped making noise. He said, I found my remedy. Better that they hit the hammer all day in my house, that the mosquito would drive me crazy. So what happened? 5 people that were working there, he took them to his palace. Your job, every day, you bang. In the end of the day, I give you 100 dinar. One of the 5 was a Jew. 4 were not Jewish. The end of the day, when they come to collect their daily payment, the first 4 goyim came. He gave them each 100 dinar. When the Jew came, he said to him, I'm sorry, you're not getting paid. So why? I work like them. He said, no. The difference between you and them, you already got paid. You see me after what I've done to your temple and to your nation. And what did I do to the Jews? You see how I suffer from morning to night. You enjoy the show and you want to get paid for it? He had a good point. A good point. Tov, let's move on. Let's read to you what I really wanted. And it's written, V'chol Truma, I'm talking about Parashat Naso, we just read. Parashat Naso is the longest parasha in the Torah. It has 176 verses. Also, the largest Masechet in the Talmud is Baba Batra, also have 176 pages. And the longest chapter in Tehillim, in Psalms, also have 176 verses. It's very interesting, something about this number. It's written in Parashat Naso, V'chol Truma, and every donation, Asher yakrivu lakohen lo yeh. Every donation that you sacrifice to the Kohen in a holy temple, lo yeh, he will be to him. To whom? To whom? Rashi writes, based on the words of Chazal, Truma, you bring to the Kohen. Truma, who is your God? God or the Kohen? The answer, Rashi says, Truma, when you bring from your field, Truma, right? You cut some of the wheat and you want to give it to the Kohen, you don't bring it to the Kohen. The Kohen comes to the Goren, where you grow all your wheat, right? And he comes to you to accept the Truma. What does it mean, Asher yakrivu lakohen, that will sacrifice and bring it to the Kohen? We're talking about Bikurim, the first fruit that grew up on your trees. You have a field, first fruit that comes out, the nice ones, you put in a basket, in a festival that you come, you bring it to the Kohen. So The Gemara in Masechet Gittin, the Gemara says, in page 7, אם רואה אדם שמזונותיו מצומצמים, יעשה בהם צדקה. If a person sees that his living is tight, he can barely pay his bills, doesn't have enough for what he needs on a daily basis for his family. Like they say in America, Rabbi, business is bad, recession, hard time. The Gemara say, increase your donations. Right away, a person that reads it, either he is surprised, or wonder, or get angry. Ma? I'm telling you I can barely pay my bills, you tell me double my donations? I don't tell you anything, God say. God say. Why? Who gives you the money, your income? Your business, your store, your employer, the stock market, the real estate office, the commissions that your boss pays you? It's all an illusion. I write in Rosh Hashanah how much you're going to make. So right now I wrote to you a very tight budget. Not enough for what you need. You need help from people, from your in-laws, from your parents, from your good friend, from your credit card. That means I'm interested to choke you, to see how you react. That's one of the major tests in life. Parnasa, a living, food. It's written with a man. כי מנסה השם אתכם, ינסנו, הילך בתורתי או לא. I'm giving you the man every day, enough for today, to see if you're going to follow my Torah or not. Meaning the Parnasa is one of the major tools that Hashem is using to test the human being. If he has confidence and faith or not. When business used to be good and now it went down 60-70%, no more profit. You live day by day, barely paying the bills. You're not bringing home extra. You just pay for food and whatever you need and that's it. It's already 6 months, you didn't save $1. Maybe you even eat from your savings. What's the first reaction of almost all people, even those who have very long beards and sombreros? What's the first reaction? Cutting right away almost all their donations. Why? Until now I was giving thousands of dollars. I need that money. With all due respect to the yeshiva or to Kiruv or to save other lost Jews, right now I need more money. I gotta buy pizza, I gotta buy spaghetti, I gotta buy meat. It's more important than to save souls. I have to upgrade my Lexus, you know. So let's cut the donations. Someone like that, what does he show Hashem? That he has zero faith in him. Zero faith in him. What do you mean? He's Shomer Shabbat. Of course Shomer Shabbat. He's afraid to go to hell. Mechalel Shabbat will suffer for eternity. He doesn't want to be in that category. He's a selfish person. Smart, but selfish. Some people are stupid selfish. At least this guy has a brain. He doesn't want to be Mechalel Shabbat because he understands where it's gonna take him. Thousands of years of suffering, he doesn't want it. So he's Shomer Shabbat. But somehow, when it comes to charity, he loses faith. He's not afraid. Why? Because the Yetzer Hara, the Satan, is convincing him in his brain that he has a good excuse. When you were making a lot of money, you already proved that you give generously. Now business is dying. What? Hashem expects you to give the same amount? Come on, be reasonable. Where is the logic? Right? That's what the Satan tells you in a mind. He's the attorney general. So what is he saying? Cut 90%. Give $1 here in the shul, quarter in the come in the morning. It's enough. Rabbi, The donation to the yeshiva is cancelled. PayPal, subscribe. Your customer cancel his donation. $50 a month, cancel. $18 a month, cancel. $5 a month, cancel. A cup of coffee, you don't buy it, $5. How can I have more money now? I have to cut. Usually, the first thing people cut is the donations. Then they cut from their luxury. Okay, this year we go only to 2 vacations instead of 3. He's willing to give up one vacation. If it's still not enough, he'll cut 2 out of the 3 vacations. Still not enough, he will cut all vacations for this year. If it's not enough, he'll tell his children no new sneakers until a further notice. But the first thing, he first cut the tzedakah, everything almost. Now he sees, what else can I cut? Maybe I'll sell my Rolex. Chaval, I have 5 of them in a safe, what do I need them? Okay, try to save it, of course. To sell it, of course, he's not going to get half of what he paid for it. All these luxury things, when you want to sell them, you never get what you paid. But smart people, they don't cut right away from the donation. They first cut from their luxury. They cut from the expensive suits they used to buy. They buy average suit now. Food, they used to buy the best meat. They buy average meat now. No more $80 a pound, $15 a pound. Fish, they used to buy the most expensive one. They buy tilapia now. Don't manage. They used to shop in a Jewish store. They go to Costco, half a price. They try to recover their life. If they have a business, they recover the business, firing 1 or 2 of the workers, cutting from all kinds of expenses. Okay, makes sense. Then after all the cutting, then when they give up, they put their hands up, Hashem, I surrender. Enough is enough. He cut the donations. This is the kind of people I'm talking about. Those who goes right away and cut the donation, they are unfortunately not righteous people. I don't want to say wicked. After all, they give donations. But they're not righteous. I'm talking about those who their heart is breaking when they stop the monthly donations, to whenever they give, to the yeshiva, to this rabbi, to that rabbi, whatever, to a poor bachur yeshiva. After they cut everything, now they say, okay, I have to start cutting the donations because I need to keep a little bit more money in my pocket. This is the kind of person the Gemara talks about. Listen, let me read it to you. אם רואה אדם שמזונותיו מצומצמים, very tight budget, will take the tight income and make tzedakah from it. לכאורה, supposedly, it's very strange. תמוה הדבר. תמוה. How can it be, Rabbi? Life has timing for everything. When business is booming, you increase the tzedakot. When business is dying, you cut the tzedakot. That's human logic. Perfectly logical. For someone that is stupid, it's very logical. Stupid people also have logic. You know what? Let me rephrase what I said. Not stupid, ignorant. Ignorant. Ignorant is not a stupid person. He just never learned. That's it. What's the mind of an ignorant person? I have to cut all my expenses. I cut from the luxury, I cut from my car, I cut from my restaurant, and I cut the donations. Like this, I will recover faster. And then when business will do better again, I will increase again everything. So, why does a person has to increase his donations a lot when his parnasa is choking him? The answer is, that's the test of emunah. This is the test of faith in Hashem. And that's one of the most important things in life. Everyone knows it, even the Goyim knows it. You are a believer or you're not a believer. Once a person say, you know what, Hashem, you're not going to fool me. You're choking me. You cut 70% of my income. I'm going to double my donations. You want me dead on the street? It's up to you. You want me not to be able to pay my mortgage and lose my house? It's up to you. But I will not let the Satan fool me. I know it's a second for you to decide that you want to add a zero to my annual budget. It was 50,000 a year. If you want, it will be 500 in a second. In a second, one extra client, and that's it. A big one. And it can change everything. One law the government would change and give you 10% more taxes in your pocket. That's right there, can be $100,000 extra. Hashem has, in a second. In a second. That means, do I believe it or I don't? If I'm afraid, I don't believe in it. How can I call myself religious? The beard makes me religious? We already saw in the Tanakh that the image of a person does not make him holy. Do you know where? Where in the Tanakh you find it? That the way you look doesn't mean you're righteous or wicked. Sometimes it does, but it's not a general rule. Meaning people that look very holy with a nice white beard and a turban and make a lot of holy faces when they pray, not necessarily they have any faith in Hashem. The answer is, Rabotai, you read it on Shabbat in Haftarah, Parashat Naso. Talks about Shimshon, the parents of Shimshon, Manoach and Tzlalfonit. She's barren, she cannot have kids. An angel comes to her looking like a person and tells her that she's going to have a child, has to be holy from birth. You shouldn't eat raisins, grapes, nothing from the grape tree. And once he's gone, they say, the man of God was here. How do they know it's the man of God? The Gemara asks. The Gemara does not answer because he looked like a holy man. No. If a person that look holy, it means that he's holy because of his image, the Gemara wouldn't ask that question. What do you mean, how do you know he's a man of God? He had a beard all the way down to the floor. Don't people that have a beard are holy? Unfortunately not. Almost all Muslims have beard, and they murder children. Hamas, Jihad, Hezbollah, that's all they do. Shooting rockets, hoping it will kill Jewish children. They are holy? For sure not. Normal Muslims who are not murderers, they know that these people are monsters. What do you think? Decent Muslims who wants to be servants of God, not to hate Jews, not to kill people, not to kill Christians, just to be a good human being. They don't feel comfortable about what they see. They are embarrassed about their religion. That's such a bad reputation everywhere you go. Everyone is intimidated. Everyone suffers. Security everywhere. On a flight you suffer. Everywhere you go you live in fear. Now they have supposedly Olympic Games, I don't know exactly what, in Europe. They already caught 3 groups of ISIS who wanted to blow up the stadium. Just imagine if they didn't catch them. Hundreds would die with their bombs in the middle of a game. What urged them just to go and kill innocent people? It's not only Jews. If it was a stadium, Sium Hashas, God forbid, 80,000 Jews, I understand why they want to come there to kill Jews. But in France, I don't know where the games are. Whenever it is now, England, France, Germany, whatever, if you have 50,000 people in the stadium, I would have to assume that 49,000 of them are not Jewish. And you know what? Many of them are Muslims. In Europe, it's full of Muslims, and Muslims love soccer. Right? So if there is a game in a stadium with 50,000 people in France, for sure you have 10, 20,000 Muslims there. They don't care. They want to blow up the place. They just enjoy to kill. Who kill Jews? The best. Second best, Christian. Third best, Muslims. Let's just kill. I have to kill. Just like I have to eat once a day. If not, I'll starve. They need to kill. Hezbollah and ISIS, so many millions of murderers, thirsty for blood. That's their nature. It's written in the Torah. Ishmael, pere Adam, yado bakol v'yad kol bo. Nothing you can do about it. Spreads everywhere. Good luck trying to stop it. When you deal with enemies that is fanatic in his belief and is willing to die for it, that's your end. Right there, it's your end. Because when your enemy cares about the life of his children, he has what to lose. When the enemy cares about his beautiful home that he built for a few years, he cares about materialism, he cares about his house, he cares about his jewelry, he cares about his documents, he cares about his farm, then he has what to lose. When he doesn't care about anything, all he wants is to kill Jews or others. And there's nothing that scares him, not jail, not torture, not to electrocute him, not to put him in Guantanamo, not to chop his head off, and not to drop a bomb on his house with his children. Doesn't bother him. Not only doesn't bother him, they make a party. They give baklava, sweets, chocolates, pistachios. They walk around. What happened? Ahmed died, Shaheed. They believe he's going to heaven. Look how the Satan fools them. That they're actually that stupid to think that they just murder innocent children, Jews or non-Jews. Innocent children. What did they do bad to anyone? They hit them with a car, or they shoot at them in a bus stop. Children! And they believe for that they go to heaven. Can you believe such thing? So, let's go back. The Gemara says, Mikoach mitzvat tzedakah, thanks to the mitzvah of the charity, Hashem will bring him revacha ve'osher. Yavi lo Hashem revacha ve'osher, wealth and prosperity. Not right away. Hashem is not an ATM machine. You put your code and the money comes out. It's not instant. You may now double your donation when you struggle. 1 year like that. And the situation gets worse every month. You eat more from the saving, and more, and more, and more. Another month you won't have any saving, nothing. And you're thinking, I'm giving more tzedakah like the Gemara say. I show you that I believe in you. Where are you? That's a sign you don't believe in him. If you ask, where are you? It's already a year like that. Where are you? I'm making sure to give 10% for my net income and sometimes 20% like the Gaon Vilna say to give. So where is my wealth that you promised? That's already a non-believer. A real believer is always happy with a nice smile. Nice smile. Why are you smiling? Situation is so bad. How can you be so calm and happy? I'm happy. Why are you happy? The will of Hashem is happening as we speak. That's His will right now. His will is that we'll be poor. His will is that people will die. His will is that we'll be intimidated and live in fear. That's His will right now. I can regret the things we did that forced Hashem to change His will to a different mode, a mode of judgment. For that I can eat my heart. To regret and be sad for the sins who caused the bad situation, it's an obligation. The Torah didn't say to be stupid. Why are you dancing, Nachman? Because I just murdered someone. Ha ha ha. Well, that's the will of Hashem. No, you fool. It wasn't the will of Hashem. When you commit a horrible sin, it's not the will of Hashem. Now when Hashem has to punish you and torture you for what you've done, it's also not the will of Hashem. You just force Him to change His will to this mode. He would prefer to be in a different mode. He has to react to your action. Just like the policeman who has to arrest you now. If he's a decent person, he's upset to put handcuffs on someone and put him for 20 years in prison. He feels bad for the children. He sees the wife's crying at the door. It's a horrible thing. What do you think? It's easy to go into someone's house, you're under arrest, put your hand behind your back, the children are screaming, the people are fainting, if there's old people in the house, call an ambulance. Believe me, the cops don't enjoy it, unless they are Nazis. There are also cops like that. They're Nazis. Nazi is Nazi, what can you do? But believe me, when a person does it, even a judge in a court, in a secular court, when he has to send a person to prison, sometimes feel horrible for it. Especially if you see that he's not such a bad person. But the law is the law. I have to send him 4 years to prison. That's the minimum the law allow me. But if it was up to me, I would let him go with a warning. But I can't, I'll get fired. They say between 4 and 20 years. I gave you 4. If I could give you 1, I give you 1. If I give you nothing, I give you nothing. I see that you are a victim of society. Some people were abused by the parents or by the teachers, and that's what created a monster. And this monster now went and did a horrible thing to someone else. But he is going to jail for a long time. The judge that sends him to jail, I'm sure he does it with mixed feelings. Why? I have to do what my job forced me to do, but inside I feel bad for that person. Sometimes the judge sends the person to a few years in jail and he's upset. Because if it was up to him, he would give him 10 times more. I have a friend, he's a judge in San Diego. He once told me that. He told me the case that are most frustrating cases are that I have a guy that the prosecution are asking for this kind of crime. And in the middle of a trial, through the witnesses, I discovered that we're dealing with a much bigger monster than what the prosecution are presenting. Much bigger monster. So if it was up to me, I would put him in life in prison. I would not want him out because his poor wife or ex-wife, how much he's going to be suffering when he comes out of jail. It was up to me, for him, for her, and for his children. I would keep them away forever. But the law allows me maximum 4 years for this provision in a prosecution case. And it bothers me very much. Believe me, if it was up to me, minimum 20 years I would give this guy. From what I hear, that people testify what he have done in here, but nobody is suing him for that. The judge cannot be a prosecutor. In Israel, by the way, the judges are everything. They do whatever they want. They don't care about the law. You know why? Because they know that the supervisor is also a lefty liberal. And his supervisor is also a lefty liberal. So if Chuck Schumer wants to do something against the Jews, and Bernie Sanders was his supervisor, does he have to worry? He can break the law as much as he wants. Bernie will make it go away. All he has to do is not to offend the Palestinian murderer, God forbid. Then he will have a big problem with Bernie. Bernie will go crazy. But as long as he's against his own people, the lefties are happy. And that's why in Israel they do whatever they want. The judge can decide whatever he wants. He can tell the lawyer, why didn't you sue for this? You have a case. You should have made another lawsuit. Why only sue civil? In America, a judge like this will get fired. The prosecution is suing for something. It's a civil case. The judge said, why it's only civil? You should sue criminal. You have a case, you should have done it. I'm surprised, what kind of a lawyer you are? Don't you tell your client that he should sue criminal? That's not the job of a judge. Right away, the judge shows he's not honest. He already took a side here. He became a lawyer of one side. Here it won't happen, at least to the best of my knowledge. Why? Because there are reviews. They review the cases here. Somebody supervises it. In Israel, you can do whatever you want. If it's a religious victim here, give him as much as you want. Everyone will be happy. The supervisor and his mother and his grandmother and the supervisor of the supervisor, they all will shake hand and hug behind the scene. You gave it to him good, to this rabbi. Wow, amazing. Amazing job. That's the country we live in, if you live in Israel. So, Rabotai, the Gemara continue. Aser te'aser, it's written in Deuteronomy 14, verse 22. Aser bishvil shetit'asher. What's the purpose of Maaser? If you pass that test, I'll make you wealthy. Who say that? Hashem. Not just say that. Promise that. Not just promise that. Give you a unique permission to test you if he will keep his promise, which you don't have anywhere else. There's no permission in the Torah to ask Hashem, why my enemy is still alive? Why this Mechalel Shabbat field that hate religion so much and burns the Torah every day, why is not dead yet? Why the thief that destroyed our life is becoming wealthier? You don't have permission to ask this kind of questions. I run the world, not you. And you have no ability to understand even 1/1,000,000% of what I do. Because you don't see anything, you see a very limited picture. Since you are unable to see the whole picture, be quiet. It's just like someone who walked into a movie after an hour and saw 10 seconds and came out. What's your conclusion from the movie? Only a fool will answer such a question. My conclusion? How can I conclude for seeing 10 seconds in a film which is a 2-hour film? Only a fool will reply to such a question. Why? You saw someone holding a knife, sticking it to someone's stomach, and cutting it open, and you came out. Now they ask you, what do you think about the person who held the knife? Wow, such a Nazi. Hamas terrorist. The one on the bed probably was a Jew, and the one who did it probably was some Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Hezbollah, Mizrachi, one of those. They say, okay, go back into the film and watch another few minutes. What do you see? The person is getting a heart attack. This doctor came quickly, took whatever he had, opened up his chest, right away tried to save his life. Then when the patient died, the doctor started to cry. I didn't, Chaval, I wanted to save him so bad. Now you feel the exact opposite now. The exact opposite. And now you find out that the one that was laying in the bed, he was the terrorist. And the doctor was a liberal Jew who is trying to save the terrorist. And when the terrorist died, the Jew was crying. But when the terrorist got saved, he would go and murder 1,500 Jews. In case you didn't understand the story, I'm talking about Ichye Sinwar Yimach Shemo V'zichro. He was already dead. The Israeli doctors, the lefty liberals, fought so bad to save his life. Chaval that they didn't give me the honor to cure him. This Nazi monster, slaughtering kids with his own hands, with a razor. You want to save such a monster? You fight for him to keep him alive, knowing he already told you before the surgery, don't think that if you save my life, I'm going to change my opinion about you. I'm going to kill every one of you. That's what he told them. Every one of you I'll kill. And I still fought to save him. Why? Because they have no fear from God and zero knowledge in Torah. The Torah says it's forbidden to save such monster. Forbidden. You're not allowed. Hashem is giving you a test. Will you follow your heart or your stupid ideology from the university, the lefty university, or you will follow your brain and my instructions in the Torah? Who you're allowed to have mercy on and who you're not allowed to have mercy on. If Hashem said not to have mercy on such a person, I'm out of it. Come on! I'm sorry. I'm not going against God. You know, there was one rabbi in Mea Sha'arim, in Yerushalayim. His name was Rav Amram Bloy. You heard about him or no? Amram Bloy was the head of Neturei Karta. You know Neturei Karta? The Neturei Karta, you know, it's mitzvah to hate them. That's the ones who demonstrate in Manhattan with Palestinian flags or go to Iran to kiss the Hitlers over there, the Ayatollahs. A bunch of fools, bunch of idiots, brainless people who think that because it's mitzvah to hate the communist, wicked Zionist, because of that you have an obligation to love the Nazis who wants to kill all Jews. That's stupidity. One has nothing to do with the other. I can hate a wicked person, but if somebody wants to kill that wicked person, but not only him, he wants to kill all Jews, but he wants to kill my enemy, but he wants to kill me also, and he wants to kill every other righteous Jew. I would run to hug him just because he ate my enemy, but he also ate me. He also ate my friends. He also ate every other person. Why would I go and hug with him and demonstrate with him with a fake flag? They're a bunch of fools. But the old Neturei Karta wasn't like that. They just hated the Israeli state so much because it was formed by such wicked people. Haters of God, haters of religion, haters of Torah, haters of Yamaka, haters of Tzitzit, haters of everything Jewish. They did everything they could. They fought. They were willing to give their life to turn Israel to a state of Goyim. That every Jew will come to Israel, will be Mechalel Shabbat. There will not be one yeshiva in Israel. Not to talk about a synagogue or a mikveh. That's the kind of people that started Israel, these communists. The original people that started Israel were all religious, righteous people. In 1882 they came. 1880 to 1882. That's the first immigration. They came, they dried the swamps, they built 35 cities. But then they became the minority. When all the communist, wicked Zionists came in 1917, they right away became the majority. The religious minority was swallowed by this wicked whale that came from Russia and Poland and Ukraine and all these countries. They were all communist, USSR. This kind of mentality they had. So when they came to Israel, they don't want religion. That's why this Neturei Karta and Satmar was very much against them. Rav Yoel Misatmar and all the leaders. They didn't want anything to do with them. They didn't want their ID. They didn't want to get a penny from the government, even though according to the law they deserve for every child money. They refused. They didn't want to get electric from them. They were operating without electric or with a small generator. They didn't want electric. They didn't want to go to the hospitals. If they were sick, they would manage with the local doctor. Sometimes they would die for it. This Rav Amram Bloy was very fanatic against them. He was a man of absolute truth. The truth of Hashem was in front of his eyes, no matter what nightmare I have to live in. Doesn't matter. When they arrested him for being against the Zionist, communist, wicked people, he was in jail. 2 of his children got married. They say to him, we're willing to let you go out for a day or two to your daughter's wedding and to your son's wedding. Just sign here that you accept that you have to be back by tomorrow at 5 p.m. or the next day, whatever. He refused to sign. He said, I do not recognize this state. It was formed by wicked people. That's not the state of God. I have nothing to do with your wicked authority. I don't want to sign. Told me, you're not going to go to your children's wedding. He didn't go to the wedding. He's stuck in jail because he did not want to sign on a secular, Zionist, communist, wicked document of this wicked government. By the way, today they are 1,000 times more wicked. They have gays there. You have the filthiest people. He comes with his husband, holding his hand in front of the whole world. Such a shame. But that's the generation you live in. The old Zionists, they were not like that. They were not there to be gay on the open. They were not there to intermarry with other nations. They had solid guidelines and red lines. But not for the right reasons. Not because Hashem said so. Why don't you marry a non-Jewish woman? Look how pretty she is. Look what kind of, and smart she is and rich. What can you find more than her? Look, she's such a nice French lady. They didn't want to marry them because they were racist. They didn't want anything that it's not like them. Not because Hashem said so. Their rules were all for the wrong reasons. Not because it's written in the Torah. Obviously, they didn't care about anything else that's written in the Torah. Keeping Shabbos, eating kosher, they didn't care about that. Learning Torah, they were against the Torah. Modesty of the women, they were against it. Sponsoring Torah, they were against it. So Amram Bloy, I don't know where he had this strength. Your son is getting married, you're sitting in a dark room in jail. They tell you, go wear your Hasidic clothes, go enjoy a day or two with the family. Enjoy with your son, dance, music, Sheva Brachot. Just sign on a document. I don't recognize the authority. If I sign on the document, that means I agree that you are in control here. How many people you have like this with principles today? In a religious world. For in a non-religious world, you probably won't find one. But in a religious world, how many you find? I had the merit to meet few over the years. They were like that. Like Rav Moshe Malka Zatzal. My rabbi in Israel is like that. He turned the whole world upside down. He will not dare to do one thing that is partially against Hashem. Indirectly. Absolutely not. Most people with a sword to the neck compromise. Okay, I'll eat. I hope it's kosher. Okay, I'll come to the wedding. I hope there's not going to be too much mixed dancing. You know, one person sent me an email a few days ago. Maybe it was I think before Shavuot, maybe a week and a half before. He asked me about one specific Israeli rabbi. He told me, I know your blacklist. How come this rabbi is not in your blacklist? I said, because this rabbi doesn't speak heresy. Yes, but he's wicked. He answered, he's wicked. I say, if I have to put all the wicked religious people in my blacklist, unfortunately the list would be all the way from here to Zimbabwe. My list was not meant to say who's a righteous human being and who's a wicked human being. No. My list is who you are not allowed to listen to their speeches. That's it. I'm not raiding their hospitality or their good heart or their generosity or how they pray or how they learn Torah. That's not in the list. There's nothing to do with the list. Nothing to do with the list. I don't know any one of the blacklist who is a thief and who is not. It's not relevant. The list was not to give mark to people if they are giving enough tzedakah or not, if they shomer Shabbos enough or not. That's not the list is about. The list is who you are not allowed to listen to their filthy mouth speaking heresy against Hashem. Like Santa and his friends. And the clown from Englewood and the clown from England, who used to be here in a Brooklyn community and ran away into the liberal London. From those kind of wicked people, I'm warning you. Why the rabbi in Israel is wicked? Because he saw him in a mixed wedding. See what the Chilul Hashem? That's all you need. One time to go to a mixed wedding. I don't know if it's true. I'm not telling you the name of that rabbi. And even if it was true, I'm sure that if you ask him, he would give you an excuse why he had to do it. Maybe someone who donates to him. Maybe it was personal gratitude. Who knows? I don't know what test he had. We're not getting into his shoes. to go to a mixed wedding, and no matter what circumstances, it's a big sin, huge sin. It's a huge chilul Hashem, huge. Even if it's your own sister's wedding, you're not allowed to go if it's mixed. It's no joke. So I'm not here to judge him or to know if it's true or not. I obviously didn't see two kosher witnesses to testify about it. But this guy was very upset that I don't agree to put him in my blacklist. Why? Because he saw him in a mixed wedding. I didn't want to waste too much of my time. I should have asked him, what were you doing in that mixed wedding, you yourself? You're just as wicked or more. At least that one does some good things. You know, you. But you know how it is. A person sees other people's guilt, but it doesn't seem his guilt. He doesn't see it. The Satan makes sure you don't see your own crimes. And even if you feel that something about what you did is not right, don't you worry. In 5 minutes, the lawyer who works for you and get paid by the Satan will already justify that what you have done, it's not only not a sin, that's the best thing you could have done. He will already convince you. For Shalom Bayit, why you drive with your wife to the beach on Shabbat? Rabbi, don't Hashem say that for Shalom Bayit, for peace in the family, is willing to erase his name? I only did what Hashem asked me to. Obviously, does he believe himself? No. It's stupid. You're allowed to bring Bechalel Shabbat. It's a bigger crime than a murderer. It's a bigger sin than to murder someone, to break Shabbat. It's no joke. You know, when the converts go to the water, before they go into the water, you have to tell them, you know, Moshe Rabbeinu killed Mechalel Shabbat. That's what Hashem said to do to Mechalelei Shabbat. You sure you want to be Jewish? You sure you want this kind of religion? If now you're going to smoke or turn on the lights or do all kinds of things or machines or car or anything like that, you actually bring a death penalty to yourself, which will happen one way or the other. Maybe not right away, maybe 5 years later or 20 years later or in the next world, but it has to happen unless you did a complete repentance. But you don't know when you're going to die. So if you didn't repent, every day you live with a gun to your head. Maybe today will be the day. You are already guilty of an execution. An execution is pending. Just like this poor Persian boy in Iran. A Muslim monster attacked him. He defended himself. Accidentally killed that monster. And before he died, it took time until he died. He actually even took him to the hospital after he was attacked by that monster. In every normal law, self-defense. I didn't want to kill you. I had no plan to kill you. Definitely, even if you want to convict me, you have to convict me in not intentional killing, which will be 5 years in prison, let's say. I had no intention to kill you. I was trying to defend myself. Accidentally, I killed you. Let's say that you say that I overreacted. No, but I plan to go and kill him? No, I'm not a murderer. I never killed a bug. I killed him accidentally. Oh, you want to give me jail? Fine, 5 years. Death penalty in Iran. They want to hang this Jew, religious guy. So far it was delayed. You know, it was supposed to already happen a month ago almost. Before Shavuot it was supposed to happen. There is a lot of politics behind the scene. Lots of people, diplomats, this, that, all kinds. They offered the family of this Muslim monster that died millions of dollars not to kill that Jew. Because that's the law in Iran. If the family forgive, they don't execute you. But the Ayatollahs threatened them not to accept the money and not to forgive. Do you know how much is $1 million in Iran? Like $100 million in United States. Do you understand or no? What you can buy in America with $100 million, in Iran will cost you $1 million. The currency there has zero value. No value whatsoever. So the Ayatollahs are threatening that family. The family cannot get back their son. They might as well get few $1 million and become one of the richest families in Iran. Right or wrong? How is it going to benefit them that they're going to hang the Jew? They know that the Jew didn't plan to kill their son. But the Ayatollahs are threatening them. Do not dare to forgive. Why? They want to hang that Jew. It will be someone else that wouldn't care. Forgive, it's your right. But when it comes to Jews, you're not allowed. We have to kill them. That's what motivates them so much. I'm sure they even offer them money, compensation. The Ayatollahs. Don't worry, the Jews told you they're going to give you $1 million, we also give you. Don't forgive. So Rabotai, let's conclude. The Gemara says, when your parnasa is cut and shrink and become tight, now you must increase your donations. Must. And if you don't do it, it's a sign you are a non-believer. Don't say, I said, I gave you the source. I will read it one more time that you don't forget. It's Gemara in Masechet Gitin, page 7. אם רואה אדם שמזונותיו מצומצמים, יעשה מהם צדקה. He has barely any income. What should he do with the little income? Turn it into donations. Rabbi, I'm telling you I don't have enough to eat to pay my rent. You're telling me to give from the little I make to give more donations? Come on. Yes, that's what Hashem said, not the rabbi. The rabbis can say whatever they want. Do they have a source? If they have a source, you have to listen. They don't have a source, okay. At one point, when you have a rabbi after a few years, that you listen to them for thousands of hours, and you ask hundreds of questions, they always answer you to the point, and you know they never go wrong. They always tell you what's right. After a while, you don't need to ask the sources. If I ask my rabbi a question, I don't ever dare to ask him for the source. Sometimes out of curiosity, I say, wow, amazing. Who say it? Rambam, this one, that one, Rabbeinu Yonah. Okay, I'll know where to find it. Why? Because if you need a source, after 10 years you follow a specific rabbi, your situation is not good. You're a non-believer. Where is your emunat chachamim? If Chacham Ben Zion Abba Shaul Zatzal will tell one of his students something, they will dare ever to question him? So don't vote in the election. Case closed. Nobody will dare to vote. Nobody asks, hey, how come? He said yes, he said no. He said no, nobody did. Until today, none of his students vote. They don't want to share in the Zionist, communist, wicked government. They don't want to vote for secular government, and they don't want to vote for religious government. Between me and you, decades, there are religious people sitting in a government. The situation of the religion became better or worse? Get worse every week. Cut the food from the Bachurei Shiva, fighting everything. They don't let the religion at all. Now they want to take all Bachurei Shiva to the army. They don't give up. They don't know what to do with them. They don't need them in the army. It's going to be a huge liability and a burden. It's going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars to train them, to get them clothes, to get them rifles and guns. You don't need them. They're going to sit and do nothing. Right now, half of the soldiers do nothing. Half of the soldiers do nothing. October 7, it's a war now. So they get a lot of soldiers for war. But when there's no war, 90% of the soldiers, you don't need them. Besides some guards and some intelligence people that check the radar and that, most of the soldiers are just in training. They really don't have what to do. Most of the army is anyway reserve. It's not the people from the 3 years, from 18 to 21. It's only the older people, 30, 35, 28. Those are the people. Look at all the dead people. Almost all of them are older. People with families, with children. What are they going to do with 100,000 Hasidim? Holy Hasid, who doesn't look left and right by mistake not to see an image of a woman. What are you going to bring him? He's going to come skinny like a skeleton. He's going to come over there to the Israeli wicked people over there, all these generals, lefties that hate religion so much. What do you think is going to happen? Besides intimidating him, abusing him, insulting him, and put his head down to the mud. Besides that, what else they're going to have to do with this Hasidim? What? Everybody knows it. Other generals that are more decent, they say, we don't need them. What is all this mess about? The answer is pure anti-Semitism. Let's torture them. And that's one of the signs that the Gemara said that will happen before the Mashiach would come. Ir'ei chet imaesu, chokhmat sofrim tisrach. Righteous people will be aided. People who keep Torah and mitzvot people will be sick and tired of them. Ugh. Why you brought him here? It's my cousin. You don't feel comfortable. Religious people here. Ugh. That's how they are, like Nazi Germany. That's how they look at the Jews in Nazi Germany. One guy told me when I was in Iran, sometimes you will go to a place to buy cigarettes, to buy candy, and a gas station, you know. They have these grocery places. The Muslim would not agree to accept the money directly from your hand because you're Jewish. Put the money on the counter, you dirty Jew, it will tell you, in your face. You are a customer. You're buying from him now in a store. You hate the Jew, why you have to say it to the customer's face? They don't care that he won't come back again to the store. Their hatred to the Jews is so high, like I told you. They don't care if you bomb their house, you kill their children, you destroy the entire Gaza. They don't care. They cannot control. As Ishmael and Esav sonel Yaakov. It's a law in nature. It's just like asking the cat not to chase the mice. No matter what you're gonna do, it's impossible to do such thing. You give him food, things that the cat likes, sees a mouse, shh. That's a law in nature. Esav sonel Yaakov, Ishmael pere Adam. That's it. 2 laws. What kind of an owner of a business say to a customer, you dirty something? Let's say you hate Indians, you dirty Indian. Let's say you hate black, you dirty black. Let's say you hate Chinese. What, you normal? No business will be left. I follow my principles. I don't care. I lose all my business. You become homeless. It's worth it. Why? As long as I show the Jew how much I hate him. It's unheard of. Here in America, it's not like that. You have a Nazi in the elevator in Manhattan. He smiles to you. How you doing? Fake smile. In his mind, he says, oh, I wish I can slaughter this Jew. But he pretends that, you know. Some, by the way, those who are very religious in their religion, it's very interesting. Among Christians, if you're very religious, you're either the biggest anti-Semite or you're the biggest lover of Jews. It's not stable. You can see 2 very strict Christians who go to the church every Sunday and pray and believe in JC and all of that. One is a big anti-Semite Nazi and the other one crazy about Jews. Just let me serve the Jews. You know, one time we had a beehive in my house. Beehive. We asked around who can come and take care of it. They told us there is this guy, he comes, he takes care of it. The whole house is bees, cannot walk around. The guy came, did what he did. So okay, we have to pay you. We asked him in advance how much it's going to be. It's $150. 20 minutes, comes 30 minutes. Goes around the house, check. Okay, let's pay you. No, I have to come in 3 days to check that everything is fine. Oh, what a service. We didn't even discuss that he will come second time. Would it cost more money second time? That's the normal question, no? No. It's a part of the service. So, can we pay you now? No, when I finish the job. And then he doesn't come. That was just an excuse. He doesn't want to take money from Jews. We called them 10 times. Sir, we owe you the money. No, I know, it's okay, don't worry, it's okay. Everything under control. Then we asked the person that referred us to him. Tell me, this guy doesn't want to come take his money. Oh, wow, he did the same thing by us. Who gave you his number? The yeshiva. Ask the yeshiva guy. How do you know this guy? I don't know, this is some kind of righteous guy. Every time we have problems in yeshiva, he comes, he takes care of it. Do you pay him? He doesn't want to take money. But he doesn't say, I don't want to take money. He says, I'll take the money, I'll come back. You ever hear such thing? Give me one excuse for that. The answer is probably one of those devoted Christians who reads in the Torah, those who love the Jews and serve them automatically are blessed by God. And he's smarter than all other Gentiles. He could have charged. Probably he makes enough money from other Gentiles. When a Jew, religious Jew calls him, he doesn't want to take money. Why? He reads in his own Bible that God said to Abraham, those who will bless your children, I will bless them. And those who will hate them and curse them, I will curse them. So what does he say? By the way, I heard someone send me a video of some black preacher, someone in Ecuador, one of the Spanish countries, who actually spoke that speech. So what is this, Gaza, supporting these murderers? You must support the Jews. And he started to quote from the Torah. Bring psukim from the Torah. You crazy? You're going against the children of God? If only Goyim would get the point, life would look a little bit better. But Hashem makes it like that. He makes it like that. Why? That they will be brainwashed with propaganda, with anti-Semitism. Why? Because he wants the Jews to live under fear right now. Everywhere. In university, Jews are in fear. In Manhattan, they are in fear. Over here in Fresh Meadow, they're starting to understand that the time here is limited. The Ishmaelim are occupying everywhere. Brooklyn, same story. Every place the Jews form the community, they show up. You have to be blind not to see the hand of Hashem. Benji, how many just walk now on the sidewalk? In a 1 minute, me and you were standing outside. 5, 6, 7. So, well, what is this? We're not in Gaza here. What's going on here? Shh, the whole sidewalk. In 1 minute, all the people that pass were all Muslims right here. Why? There is kosher meat here. Can get kosher meat here. They look for a place that they can buy meat, that they can count on. Tov Rabotai, let's move on. You know, the parasha talks about a man that his wife is mingling with someone that is not her husband. At work, she works with him in the same office, in a store, in school. There's enough places. And then Torah says that the husband warned her, I don't want you to isolate yourself with this guy. Make sure. It's my boss. It's my manager. It's my partner at work. I mean, we're working on the same project. We have to sit together and talk and write. It's a common thing. Today it's common, unfortunately. In the old days, a Jewish woman will never go to work with Goyim. There's no such thing. Today, it's a part of the world is deteriorating. A part of society is becoming more and more rotten and wicked. A part of it is that Jewish women goes to universities and go to work with Goyim. And thousands of homes were broken from cheating and destroying. And as a result of, I have to help to make a living. Why you have to send your wife to university to support the house? Because you have big eyes. You want to get a Mercedes. It's not enough a little Toyota. You want to get a $5,000 square feet house. It's not enough 1,000. You want to get a $500, $700 suits. It's not enough $200 suits. You want to get a $10,000 watch. It's not enough. You want 3 vacations. Because of that greed, you need more money. So it's not enough what you work like a slave. So you have to send her to work. What is she going to do? Become a secretary? It's not enough. So you send her to college. And she works now with Goyim. I'm not talking about the religious girls who go to Torah college and then they work in a Jewish place with Jewish kids. That's perfectly kosher. She went to school with girls and she works with girls or with kids. I'm talking about, she's a lawyer, she's an accountant, she works in Manhattan, she works with Goyim. There was one religious girl who used to come to the lecture, she stopped. Every day I think about it with such fear in my mind, because the last time she asked me a question before she stopped coming is about a goy that is not leaving her alone. He wants to date her. A religious girl with good hashkafa. My biggest fear is that something horrible happened. Huh? I don't know, she disappeared. She doesn't come, she doesn't answer the messages. You know, when you worry about someone, you ask, is everything okay? You're getting a cold answer. So sometimes a person commits a horrible sin and can't look at themselves anymore. So they run away from religion. That's a very common phenomenon. Usually when people are in touch with me every week, and then all of a sudden they disappear, it's either they died, or that they left the religion, or that I said something in my lecture that offended them so much that that's it. From love, it turns into hate. One of those 3. People don't just disappear. Usually the most common reason is they're on the way down from religion. They stop listening to the lectures, a month or 2 later, they're already 80% secular, like they used to be. Sometimes all of a sudden a person comes to my mind, I say, how come this guy disappeared? So I send a message. Most of the time, no reply. Obviously, they don't want me to ask, you still Shomer Shabbat? What's happened to you? They don't want to open a conversation. They cannot face the truth. They don't want to expose themselves, so they ignore. Sometimes they answer, Rabbi, I'm ashamed to even answer. I'm not what I used to be. What do you mean? I'm not this, I'm not that, it's very hard, I'm alone every Shabbat, I don't have a wife. It was too much for me, you know, those excuses. Sometimes you save them. Come on, don't talk like that. Come to the yeshiva for Shabbat, do this, do that. Watch this right away. I'm sending you a link. Wow, you revived me. And you saved them. But if people don't reply or they disappeared, who's going to save them? Sometimes people disappeared with the hope that the rabbi will chase them. If there was enough time to chase every individual. Sometimes they disappear with the hope that the rabbi will not find. They're worried about the rabbi, not about Hashem. When Hashem sees, they're not so worried. They're worried if the rabbi will find out. So, Rabotai, ish ki tisteh ishto u'ma'ala bo ma'al. Why the Torah have to say ish? It's enough, ish, it's a man. Ish ki tisteh ishto u'ma'ala bo ma'al. A woman that his wife went off the path and cheated on him. The Gemara in Masech, why does it have to say ish, man? The answer is not every man has the same verdict. It's not the same. Israel, Cohen, even among 2 different Israel, he warned her not to isolate herself with this guy. And then people came and told him, she continued to lock the room. And she goes inside with him for an hour, 2 hours, she stayed late in the office. Disaster. Now he has to take her to the Kohen. He said to her, listen, I cannot touch you. I cannot be with you anymore. What do you mean? I don't trust you anymore. I warn you not to go into the room with this guy at your work. 2 witnesses came and told me that you continue to do it. I cannot touch you anymore. Why? We have to take you to a lie detector. That's today. You want to live with me again? You want to come back home? Or you want to stay by your parents for the rest of your life? You want to come back home in one condition. Some will take her to a lie detector. Some will take her to the Torah and tell her, hold the Torah and swear that he never touched you. It will be enough for them. But in the time of Bet HaMikdash, you wouldn't need lie detector and you wouldn't need to swear on the Torah. All you had to do is to take her to the Kohen. You take her to the Kohen takes the cover from her head, which is a huge embarrassment for a woman in those days. Every woman was covering her hair. And also made braids. Single women, they put some mitpachat on top, like bandana like this, but in the back they made a long braid. That used to be the custom, at least by the Arabic countries. Either 2 long braids or 1. That means no woman will walk with her hair open in the public. Even today, the single religious girl, they don't have to cover their head, but they put it together. They don't go like this to school, on the street, shopping, in the supermarket, walk around like this. It's not modest. So he takes her to the Kohen reveals her hair, and if there was a braid, he opens it up. It's a huge embarrassment for her. From here we learn that according to the Torah, Jewish women have to have hair. If Jewish women would be bald, like some people do today, they have customs that their women shave their head and put wigs on top. The reason for this custom, according to my understanding, speaking to some of them in the past, some of them told me that it's because of chatzitza. When she goes to the mikveh, when there's no hair, that means the water touched the entire scalp. So there's no place that stays dry. But if there is a lot of hair, especially curly and this, so what happened? When they go into the water, it could be 1 dot in the head that did not have water touch, and the impurity of nida, it remains. When she comes out, there was 1 dry place. That means not the entire body touched the water. That sounds very nice, but it's incorrect. Why it's incorrect? None of the Rishonim spoke about it. Not Rambam, none of them. Not all the poskim. Nobody said that hair of a woman is chatzitza in a mikveh. You want to make a new Torah 400-500 years later? It's not possible. Whatever is not mentioned in the Rishonim doesn't exist. You do not create new things. The Rambam did not discuss. The Rosh didn't speak. Rashi didn't speak about it. The Ra, none of them. Tosafot didn't mention it. Nobody, not in the Talmud, not the Mefarshim, not the Poskim. Shulchan Aruch doesn't talk about it, the Jewish book of law. You making up new laws now, chatzitza? Now the Rambam didn't know that women have long hair, that it could be chatzitza. He didn't bring it up. Why are you making up new halachot? That's not incorrect. That's incorrect. Then the second excuse was that in the old days, the Goyim, the Cossacks, used to come and rape Jewish women, unfortunately. There was all kinds of attacks, pogroms. They used to burn Jewish property, they used to murder, and they used to kidnap, and they used to rape. Just like October 7. Nothing is new under the sun. So, the trick that the Jewish women found to save themselves from these attackers is to shave the head, put a wig on. When the Cossack come to kidnap her or to grab her, she takes off the wig or the cover. He sees a bald woman, he gets nervous and he runs. That's very convincing. Very possible that that's what happened. It's actually a brilliant idea. There's only one problem. What is the problem? Whenever there is a decree against the Jewish nation, a decree, Once the risk is finished, the Goyim had a decree. There's nothing we can do about it. If we don't do it, they'll kill us. So we suffer with the reality. We do whatever we can to protect ourselves. Once the Goyim went away, or the Caesar died, or the cruel king died, and then a better one came, and the decree is cancelled, why would we continue with these defense actions that are contradicting the Torah? We only did it to save life, pikuach nefesh. Now when the risk is over, nobody's threatening your life anymore. Or you don't have anymore to continue with this. Plus the Zohar, the Kabbalah, said that the beauty of a woman to her husband is her hair. But, let's not go into that. But it's written in the Torah clearly. If a woman would be bald, you could not have this verse in the Torah. Upara et se'ar rosha. Why? A woman's supposed to be bald. If a woman's supposed to be bald, Hashem would not write in the Torah that you have to open her hair and embarrass her in public. There's nothing to open. You get the point or no? You get it or no? Yes. Okay. Now, there are people who come to sacrifice in Bet HaMikdash. They bring sacrifices. One guy is a sinner, he broke Shabbat accidentally, he brings Korban Chatat. Some people bring Korban Nedava, they had the baby girls, they want to offering a present to Bet HaMikdash. They bring a sheep. And they bring this woman now, Isha Sota. Wow, look at this woman, I know her. Wow, it's my cousin. What is her husband doing here by the Kohen? Hashem Yerachem. The news begin to spread. All the enters on the WhatsApp groups. Baruch Hashem didn't have WhatsApp group in the time of Bet HaMikdash. Did you hear? Did you hear? I don't want to talk. So why did you ask me if I heard? Now he has 500 imaginations about her. Did you hear with this woman? Wow, don't ask. No, I can't talk. I already say too much. That's called avak lashon hara. Sometimes it's worse than the actual lashon hara, because he actually say the real lashon hara is not as bad as people imagine. People's imaginations, Hashem Yerachem. If you saw a woman arriving to Bet HaMikdash, accept on yourself not to drink wine. Yazir atzmo min hayayin. What's the connection? What does that have to do with me? I had a baby girl, I brought a sacrifice to say thank you to Hashem. Now I saw Isha Sota, a cheated woman. Now, don't drink wine anymore. Shabbat, a guest bring a nice bottle of wine. No, I don't drink. Why? I was in Bet HaMikdash the other day. Someone's wife came and it was very embarrassing. So why don't you drink wine? Kiddush, kadima. No. Yazir atzmo min hayayin. What's the connection? What caused women to do such thing? Wine is the number one reason. Ask the secular people who go to the bars, what happened after they buy 1 or 2 glasses of red wine to Christina. Give her 1 glass of wine and see what happened. For whatever reason, the wine has such a terrible impact on a woman, on some men as well. But men will do stupid things, will say offensive things, will stand on a table like a monkey and jump, embarrass his wife. But by a woman, it can be critical. 1 or 2 glasses of wine and their family is destroyed. Their family, the children. That's why Jewish kosher women don't touch wine. You're not going to find a kosher girl from Bet Yaakov drinking wine. I don't remember ever seeing a religious woman drinking wine. We had a lot of religious women in our table. Never saw it. Only by secular girls it's coming. Wine, vodka. Religious girls to drink wine. A little bit from the kiddush they taste, just for the bracha, that's it. Muslim went even further. No one is allowed alcohol. Why? People with hot blood. You give them a little alcohol, you know what's going to happen? They'll kill each other 10 times more. As they are already killing each other non-stop from morning to night. Imagine if they would drink alcohol every day. what would happen? They found an easy way out. No one is allowed alcohol. They're going to catch you with alcohol in a house and can kill you. I saw ISIS, they going to houses of people and they search. A surprise visit. Hi, alhamdulillah, bismillah, wallah, la 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 la. What happened? Move. What happened? Well, they start to shake. They know how cruel these people are. They drive over a person with a tank. They saw a bottle of cognac in his house. He ran, and they chased him with a tank that they stole from the Russians. Tank! You know the chains of the tanks? The person runs, the tank chasing him, and the tanks drive over his head. This is who we're dealing with. You have tens of millions of monsters like this, waiting to drink our blood. Europe is full of them, but also here, around here. With the internet today, you can spread propaganda. People are light-headed people, 17, 18 years old kids, 16 years old, right away their dream is to be a shaheed, to murder people. Even here in America, shooting, this, that. Here you don't need to be Muslims. A lot of crazy Christians come to schools and shoot. Go figure, what for? They hate their life, so they decide to take 20 more people with them. So, Rabotai, the Gemara say, why a person was punished that his wife is not loyal to him, she disrespects him, and he has to take her to the Kohen? What did you do to deserve it? The answer is stingy with donations. Because he did not give the Kohanim in Bet HaMikdash the Maaser, the 10% from his income, Hashem will make him come to the Kohen in a different door. You don't go to pay your duties? No problem. I will force you to go to the Kohen, but for much less pleasant reasons. When you come to give your 10% income, it's a blessing for yourself. Hashem is going to bless you for more. When you come bringing your wife for the lie detector of the Kohen, she may die on the spot. Imagine the embarrassment. They put the name of Hashem, they write it, they put it in the water, the ink goes down, she drinks, her stomach explodes, her wound, explosion. She dies on the spot. But it only works if her man is loyal as well. If he's also a cheater, it's not going to work. There's one thing, there's few questions that I have to ask, and we'll finish here. Tomorrow I'll continue that in Brooklyn. Question number one, what does it mean if he's a cheater? In the old days, he wants another woman, he will marry another woman. People used to marry 4, 3, 6. King would marry 18 even. Tell her, listen, I decided to marry another girl. Or in the old days, they used to have pilakshim, kosher concubines. They even have children with them. Yaakov Avinu had 2 of them. 2 of the mothers of the Jewish nation are like this, Zilpa and Bila. Many of Gdolei Israel, I mean the kings, they had it. Why does he need to cheat? What for? He would say, it was the norma. Today no one would do it. If someone would say to his wife, I want to marry another woman, she will either kill him or commit suicide, one of the two. On my dead body. But in the old days, it wasn't an embarrassment for her. Why? Because there's 5,000 other families like that. It was common by the Goyim, the Arabs, until today they are like that. And it would be all over the Middle East. So she wouldn't feel, oh, look at her husband has another 3 wives. So what does it mean? If he's not loyal, it's not going to work on her. He doesn't have an incentive to be not loyal back there in time. He could have made it official, according to the Torah. It was a common thing. That's one question to think about. Second question is, now if the woman did not actually cheated, she just isolated herself against her husband's will and warning, the Kohen is going to give her a blessing that all her children will become Talmidei Chachamim. We have a problem here. What's the problem? The Gemara says in many places, Chotev v'niskar, a person is a sinner and he should get a reward for it. It's very unlikely. She, after all, committed a sin. Not the full sin, but she committed a sin. Her husband told her, I don't want you to be with this man in a room. And she did it. Now she forced him to bring her to the Bet HaMikdash. In the end, they found out she didn't actually let the other man touch her. But, after all, she did something ugly. Why she deserve a blessing now? The question is so strong that Chazal are teaching us that Hannah, the wife of Elkanah, that was Gdol Ador, the holiest person in the land, she was planning to go and isolate herself with another man. That her husband will become jealous and take her to the Kohen, and the Kohen would make her drink the water. And if she drinks the water, it will show that she never let any man touch her. And as a result of that, he will bless her with Zerah Shel Kayama, with children. Because for 19 years she didn't have kids. She already was going crazy. Where does it say in the Torah that a woman who does not have kids, she feels like she's a dead woman? That's what Rachel said to Yaakov. Ava li banim ve'im ayin meta anochi. Give me children, if not, I'm dead. And Yaakov answered her, what do you want from me? I'm not God. I'm God that make women pregnant? No. I have kids with Leah. That's what Yaakov said. The problem is not by me. So, the question now with Hannah, who would agree to isolate himself with the wife of the biggest rabbi in the world? Good luck finding one. She would come to someone, hey, Moshe, can you do me a favor? Come, what? I want to close you and me, go into the room, lock the door for about 20 minutes. Ma? Rebbitzen, what are you talking about? Chas v'shalom, run away. It will never come near her. Okay, she looks for someone, hey, Yitzchak, come, do me a favor. No one would agree. And then she say, Elkanah Ba'ali. Why did she have to say Ba'ali, my husband? Everyone knows who her husband is. Why did she have to say my husband? The answer is that everyone knows that my husband is a good, loyal, honest, decent person. He will not cheat around. So when they see that I go to the Kohen, they'll know that the test will be reliable. Why? Because it works. Because my husband is not bad. When the husband is bad, then it doesn't work on a woman. So that's your homework until tomorrow night, to tell me why she deserves to get a blessing. The Gemara says, it's not, what happened if the woman already has kids? She has 5 kids already. She has 10 kids. She goes to the Kohen and he gives her a blessing to have more kids. So no, it's enough already. I have IUD already. No, I'm going to give you another 10. No, God forbid. You know, one time in a shul, the guy said to a guy, Be'ezrat Hashem te'omim hashana. His wife fainted in Ezrat Nashim. She just asked the rabbi to give her permission not to have more kids, and the gabbai gives her bracha, te'omim, twins this year. It's not always a blessing. Just like when a Kohen gives you a bracha, Yevarechecha Hashem ve'ishmerecha. What's the meaning of the first verse? God will bless you with money, with wealth. Ma ze ve'ishmerecha, and will guard you, will keep you safe. What does it mean? Against ayin hara, that your money will have blessing and hidden from the public. No one will know what you have. And there will not be damages. Sometimes you make money, but you have a lot of damages. This one, lawsuit, leaks, problems. In the end, all the money goes on Hashem Erachem, on punishments. Who said that to bless a person with wealth is a good thing? Some people became wealthy and became very wicked after that. I actually know one person is so honest, he doesn't know how to lie. But he said to me, why do you think I live here in Monsey? This he told me 25 years ago. He's a single guy. Back then he was 45 years old, not married. Why do you think I live here? Because I cannot afford to move to Florida. As soon as I'll make money, you won't see me here. Why? I said, I'm gonna go right away to Florida to have the life, find myself a girl. I say to him, Be'ezrat Hashem, you won't make any money. If the money will turn you into a wicked monster, you better stay poor. He stay with no money and no woman. 70 years old now. Never got married. Person say to Hashem, give me money. Why? Because I want to move to Florida to do sins. But it's not because he's stupid, it's because he doesn't know how to lie. You know, some people, they don't know how to lie. My father was like that. He could never say a lie in his whole life. Never. Doesn't know how to lie. I have another friend like this in Yerushalayim. He made Aliyah, used to be in Monsey. He doesn't know how to lie. No matter what you offer him, he won't be able to say a lie. The nature of a person. You have some goyim like that. Straight like a ruler. Can be a lefty liberal trader, but he's straight like a ruler. Drives him crazy to see corruption. Very, very much makpid on it. So, you know, so this woman is now, they give her a bracha. Now, what happens if she has kids? So they say, if the kids are short, they'll be tall. If they're stupid, from now she's going to have smart kids. If they are all kinds of negative things, I better not say it because the liberals will go crazy. Because you know, the Gemara is not politically correct. The Gemara told you who's considered nice, who's considered not nice, but today it's not in style. Better not to say. So the Gemara say, if we will have ugly kids, they'll turn into pretty. All kinds of things. Meaning that no matter what, the woman gains some profit. If she didn't have kids, she gets kids. If she had kids, the kids will be better. So no matter what, she get a huge, huge reward. For what? For being alone with a man that is not her husband in an isolated place? After she was born? Why does she deserve a reward? But let me ask you a question. We'll finish right here. Who can show me a place in the Torah that a person committed a sin and he got a reward for it? No? Two places, right away. No, from the top of your head. Adam and Yehuda. Yehuda went to Tamar not knowing who she is. Wasn't supposed to do it. Who came out of it? The Mashiach. Came from his children. David HaMelech, it's from that transaction. And Adam HaRishon. Before Adam ate from the tree, he was like a monkey. Walking naked, no shame, no intelligence, nothing. He ate from Etz Adat. What happened to him as soon as he ate? He became with dat. And the Gemara says, if you don't have dat, you're the dumbest, you're the foolest, you're the most miserable creature on earth. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Dat kanita, ma chasarta. Dat chasarta, ma kanita. You don't have dat, you are a worthless creature. Worthless. You can have $100 billion real estate, and you still, Hashem looks at you like a piece of dust in the wind. Because your brain has no dot. Adam HaRishon, once he ate from the tree, he got dot. First thing, right away, him and his wife became ashamed that they're naked. Before they were walking around like monkeys. Monkeys embarrassed to be naked. People take pictures of monkey. Did you ever see a monkey is hiding his private parts? No, because he's a monkey. So Adam and Eve were like monkey. Hashem said, do not dare to eat from the tree. They ate from the tree. What happened to them? They got knowledge. How can it be? Here I can give you a very good answer. Why? With the knowledge, they got tons of other problems. They have to work, they have to suffer. It was a package deal that there was a lot of bad with it. So it wasn't really a reward in the end. Yehuda, he didn't keep his promise. Tamar wanted to have a continuation for her husband that died. But over here, a woman that did something ugly, she's getting a blessing. The question is why? It's like your son already have a record of taking things without permission. One time there was something missing, and he was the suspect. And after interrogation and a strong investigation, you found out there was someone else. So now your son wants a reward that it's not him, the thief. Tell him, get out of here. You're lucky you don't get a smack. Why? Why are you the suspect? Because you're not such a tzaddik. Nobody else suspect other kids. Why you automatically were the main suspect? That's a sign that you yourself are not good. Now you want a reward for it? That Baruch Hashem, this particular time you were not the thief? You get the point or no? Okay, if you have an answer by tomorrow, please let me know. If not, we'll continue tomorrow. Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen ve'amen. Benji, you shut the AC, I'm dripping sweat here.